Okay, 19, I gotta catch my breath. Motion to authorize the village attorney to file all necessary documents to recoup the village's taxable costs in the matter of Weiler versus the Village of Oak Lawn, 14 CV 04991. May I have a motion on this item?
Motion to approve.
Properly moved by trustee Vorderer,
Second.
seconded by trustee Oliniechek. Any discussion here?
Yes, Mayor.
Yes.
I have some questions related to what costs that we're talking about recovering.
Okay.
Could you or the attorney explain what those costs are?
Sure. Mayor, if I could.
Certainly, Pat.
So this is, this is not attorney's fees. These are the costs of the litigation, things like deposition, payments for transcripts, things like that. We haven't finalized putting together the full list of the costs, but we believe it's probably in the range of between $6,000 and $7,500 where it would be the total taxable cost of the village. We'd be seeking to have recouped.
Okay, so that does not include attorney's fees, but just transcript fees, copy fees, things of that nature. Okay. Did that answer your question
That
sufficiently?
question, I have a few more.
Okay.
Okay, so you did say that that will not include attorney's fees?
That is correct.
Okay. And you indicated that the total cost of all the fees would be in the range, I think you said between $6,500 and $7,000?
$6,000 and $7,500. We think it'll be.
$6,000 and $7,500.
But that's an estimate at this
That's an
time.
estimate,
That is
yeah.
not a hard number.
Right, I understand. And how much money in attorney's fees do you suggest that it will cost to recover that money?
I think it would be, a budget. I mean, you're talking about preparing and filing a motion in federal court. I think it would be maybe around, I'd say less than $1,000, I would guess.
Okay,
I can get back to you on the exact cost for that.
all right, I appreciate that estimate. So, are there any defenses to the motion if it's filed on time and documented correctly?
I'd have to get back to you that on, our federal litigation attorney who handled this case, Dominic Lanzito, who's not here tonight, could probably explain to you the defenses. I'd imagine they'd have an opportunity to respond to the motion, I would imagine. I don't know what the exact defenses would be, but I'm sure they would have an opportunity to respond.
But this is something that the winner of a case is entitled to collect these costs.
To file the motion to collect these costs, correct?
Right, okay. Well, thanks, Pat. But what I want to say is that in all the years that I've served in this village, I do not recall one time which this board has been asked to approve the filing of a motion to collect costs. I wonder if this is part of a show by our village manager. We saw a press release distributed last week, and now we have this board approving a motion that ordinarily would just be filed in the regular course of business. This motion strikes me as a public show of vindictiveness, whereby our manager can plunge one more knife into a former employee. It sets an example while trying to get some of us on this board to take a vote against a resident. I'm not going to stand in the way of this board, but I do think that when we plant routine legal matters on the agenda for the purpose of being vindictive and for politics, we do a great disservice to the people of Oak Lawn. That being said, it's pretty clear that we are entitled to the costs as a matter of course. So I will support it, but I would hope that in the future we could refrain from attacking employees or former employees with vindictive public displays of power.
Any other discussion?
I think you should comment on it. I mean, Larry, you want to comment on it, or why don't you? I mean, I don't think that was the case.
You know,
Because we did have a discussion.
Mayor, trustees, let me just say to you, there is no intent to be vindictive, no intent to put on a show, I believe, as the trustee characterized it. The bottom line is this: it's the taxpayers' money. The only show that was put on was by a plaintiff, not the Village of Oak Lawn. And it's sad that that had to happen. This is before you to collect what is due the taxpayers of this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
And I think, council, is this routine? Is this,
It is a routine motion, and I don't want to get into the specifics of this case, but a lot of times, fee petitions, post-ruling fee petitions, there's strategy involved there. For example, I know there may be waivers of fee petitions on either side of a case. For example, when you're discussing appellate rights or further legal actions, sometimes that comes into play. So, but as far as, this motion, a winning side would often do that, but it may spur discussion on the other side about further legal action.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Let's take that vote then. Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Strike?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
And Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. We're on 20, which is